Welcome back, folks, here on the Believe in FCS Football podcast, part of the Believe Podcast Network for your Week 7 preview episode. I'm Joe DeLeone, former University of Rhode Island long snapper, joined by my former teammate, former roommate, very good friend, Mr. Sean Anderson, recording here late on a Wednesday night to give you this Thursday episode. Sean, you excited for this weekend to get a little bit of relaxation in? I know I am.
I believe I work Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night.
Oh, no.
Does that sound like relaxing?
No,
No, it doesn't.
God.
Oh, it's fun though. It's just the grind. I know a lot of the other FCS broadcasters and people that work in production and graphics. You know, they got to work on the weekends too. And I actually get very mad at schools that do not put up their game day press conferences or post game whatever fast enough. And I understand. Oh, so they're just out at a party now, and I'm sitting here with my job on the line because one of the people on the production team did not want to put up the post game interview of Lane Kiffin or whoever
because the intern decided it was time to go to the bar for drinks.
And exactly.
Oh, I'll put it up tomorrow. I don't think anyone's really.
I just got my new fake. I'm gonna go try it out.
All the reporters got it. They were there. Oh, we'll be fine. It's not a big deal. I'm praying for you, Sean. I got to figure out when I'm on the East Coast again. I might just randomly show up at your apartment. By the way, we got to talk about that at some point. It'll probably happen. Yeah, I'll find your address somewhere.
Also,
what? Go ahead,
Joe. What are we got? Are we 3 weeks away from South Dakota?
I think the math that we did before yesterday's show. I think it was. I think that was correct. We're 3 weeks. Yeah, because wait, what is it today? It is
13th.
It's the 13th. It's 3 or 4 weeks. No, it's at the end of this week. We're 3 weeks away.
3.5 weeks. So buckle up, I guess.
Buckle up.
I don't even know if it's going to be cold. It's 70 degrees here still.
I'm very scared to find out because I don't think I brought a winter coat out here.
What?
I don't think I have a winter coat. I have to check. I don't think I brought a winter coat. So I think I'm going to just pray that I'm not going to freeze my nuts off.
Can you even buy a winter coat in Los Angeles? Are there places you can do that at?
Yeah, but winter coats are expensive. I'm not going to buy one. I'm just going to tough it out. I'm just going to
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm okay.
Don't
Chad
do
that. And Brendan, I need to know, or anyone else, South Dakota State listeners, please let me know how cold it's going to be the first week of November. Am I screwed, or can I wear a couple sweatshirts and a long sleeve shirt and like some?
You might be okay there. But we're there for 2 days. We got Friday night.
Yes.
And then all day Saturday.
Right. And then Saturday night. I'm not worried about getting around because like I've done the bit where I've been freezing my ass off just wearing a sweatshirt and jeans and I've just moved quickly. I'm more worried about the game. The game I'm worried about. Because I think that I'm gonna freeze my ass off during the game because I'm not gonna have enough. Because once you start being cold at the beginning of a game, you're done for.
It's very hard to warm back up again without liquor.
Which maybe I'll just bring.
It's a big day. We can't be doing liquor at the game.
No. Sean, we're going to be talking about today the Montana State Weber game. Bit of a lighter slate for ranked games, and I think that the Montana State Weber State game has the most. What's the word I'm looking for? It has the most implications on it, mostly for Weber State, and we're going to talk about that coming up. But can you just really quickly share with our listeners a note from BetOnline?
I would love to. And I know on Tuesday I talked about me being on a big old heater. Since then, still haven't made a bet, but I might start messing around with the MLB playoffs. I think now that we're getting deeper into the season, I don't know. I'm a little more invested in this October than I have been, which doesn't make sense as a Nats fan. And they stunk this year, not as bad as the Phillies, but they stunk this year. And then, but you know, we got postseason baseball you can bet on. We're getting into the thick of the NFL season, going into what is it, Joe? Week 6 now. That's going to be a lot of fun. I know Atlanta's not playing this week; they're on a bye, so I'll be putting down some type of crazy 1 p.m. parlay, and you can do all that at BetOnline. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BLEAV, BLEAV, to receive your bonus. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games, don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Thank you, Sean. And speaking of games starting, this Montana State Weber State game, Montana State so far this year, Sean, has been, I think, what a lot of people in the media have considered to be one of the surprise teams, one of the risers, one of the teams that could finish up as an underrated squad come time to rank these programs for seeding for the playoff. By the performances that they've strung together, their only loss come against Wyoming. And I think this is, I might be incorrect, I believe that this is their first ranked matchup. Yeah, it is their first ranked matchup because there are other wins coming against Cal Poly, Northern Colorado, Portland State, San Diego, and Drake. This is a really, I think, a good spot for Montana State to legitimize themselves. But most importantly, the flip side of things, this is the last chance for Weber State. I'm going to come out and say that. This is a 2-3 football team that is coming off of a bye, that has, separate from their Utah loss, underwhelmed in ranked games. And for some reason, despite them being 2-3, technically 2-2 if you don't count the Utah game, they're still ranked. And I haven't been a fan of that. But I'm going to be really pissed off if they're still ranked if they lose this football game, because this is legitimately their last shot to prove themselves with a big game coming up.
Now, here's the thing, Joe. Montana State, even though they have the tougher schedule having to face after Weber State, Idaho State, Eastern Washington, very tough, Idaho, very tough, and Montana to close it out. That's a tough gauntlet they're going to have to go through. Weber State, you got to play directly after Montana State. So even if they win, they still have to go against Eastern Washington, who is just cream of the crop this year. This game is going to, I don't know if I could put as much stock into this game, seeing how the schedules lay out, but also 2 losses. You see that Weber State had a tough draw against James Madison and UC Davis. That's the game that you really needed to win to set yourself up for the back half of the season. You can't have 2 losses going into back-to-back Montana State and Eastern Washington and then Idaho State. It's just going to be a very, very tough. That gauntlet is going to be a nightmare because I know you had a loss to Utah. We're probably not going to put too much stock into that. You beat Dixie State. You beat Cal Poly, which everyone's beaten Cal Poly. That UC Davis game, I think, is going to have more of an impact than this upcoming Montana State game, because you can't go into this game or these next 3 games with 2 losses under your belt, or 3 losses, including the Utah game.
Right. I'm not necessarily saying that the season's completely gone and done if they lose to Montana State, but there's so much that comes into this where Weber needs to come out with a victory. This can't be a moral victory type game. Their season is on the line. 3 losses. It's not necessarily going to kill you, but it makes things a lot harder to be seeded, especially with the amount of teams that we have at the top that are still undefeated, and the amount of teams that we're probably going to have finish with 1 loss. It would be crazy to see a 3-loss Weber State team, a 4-loss Weber State team miss out, but it's looking like that's going to be the case based on the uphill battle that they're taking on right now. The thing that stands out to me when I look at both of these teams, and the reason why I just strongly believe that Montana State has the upper hand in this one, is that Montana State has been unbelievable rushing the football. Isaiah Fonzie is averaging over 100 rushing yards per game. He has been fantastic. I see Weber State having a porous rush defense, averaging over 130 per game. That has been a concern over the ranked matchups that they've had, where they have not really stopped opposing teams' run games that effectively. And then you also throw into the fact that Weber State has never really been an explosive 35, 40-point offense. They're more of a grinded out type team going up against one of the best defenses in the country right now. Do you know what they're allowing right now per game, Sean? They're only allowing 11 points per game.
Oh, boy.
That is not good. Both of those things that I just point out there, that really does not help Weber State in this circumstance.
Weber State doesn't look that physical to me this year. I remember going through the JMU tape. I know JMU is kind of a circumstance that exceeds typical FCS boundaries with the kind of athletes that they bring in and the size and strength and natural ability they have. But Weber State looked just completely outclassed physically on that field, physicality-wise and size-wise. And I even put it into the perspective of, what if they were playing Montana? They're probably going to look smaller and be less physical. The defense, it's never like it's like they've had a bunch of John Lynches on their team that are just coming down and blowing anybody up. You're not seeing, you're rarely seeing that in the FCS. It's a lot of really great ball hawks and guys with great ball skills that are getting picked up, or you get your Isaiah Rochelles, who is a very tall, lengthy corner with good feet. But regardless, you have to have somebody in your team that could really blow up a play, and it didn't seem like they had that. I mean, fine players up and down that defense, but their physicality this year has been somewhat disappointing, at least on the defensive side. Obviously, I'm not going to have much of a criticism for the offensive line because, even if they don't look physical, I know what they're doing in there. Same with the defensive line, but really the linebackers is what I look at is needing to see a little more physicality from them.
And it seems so odd knowing this Weber State team and the success that they had in the years that we've been covering over the past couple of years. The thing that it seems, it just always felt like physicality is just a word that was synonymous with this Weber State team. And I really like that you're pointing out right now that feels to be a lacking aspect of this squad going against a team that has established a physical element against its opponents. Montana State is probably going to win in that avenue. But I have to reiterate here, though, this is not like a definitive, like Montana State's going to win, bingo, bango, that's the outcome. Because, again, Montana State hasn't necessarily been tested yet. Those victories and these statistics could be buoyed by the fact that they're playing mid-tier to lower-end teams.
Well, Portland State is, as we heard, a top 5 Big Sky team still. So you're not wrong. They've kind of beaten up that they had an easy start to their year. And every hack likes to bring this up, but it's true. Drake, not good. San Diego, not good. Portland State, not good. Northern Colorado, not good. Cal Poly, not good. They have, again, very, very strong 5 here in Weber State, Idaho State, Eastern Washington, Idaho, Montana. This Montana State probably has more to win from this game than Weber does because they cannot go. What are they? Undefeated. No, Montana State is 5-1. 5-1.
Their one loss is to Wyoming, so they're technically undefeated in FCS play. If we're going to play that game,
gosh, they might go. They might be 6-4. They might be looking down there or whatever it is. They might only get 6 wins out of this season.
Who, Weber?
Maybe 7. No, Montana State.
Oh, because you're looking at that.
I'm looking at this. This is an awful stretch to have to go down on that. We talked about Rhode Island and how they have Villanova to go. This is a hellish stretch.
A brutal one. The easiest game I see on here is Idaho State. And like, I even if Idaho's not ranked, they are always a team that can surprise people, and they're going to keep things close. Like, that's a tough game. But Montana, Eastern Washington, those are going to be determining ones. But like, I think we'll have a better indication after this game of how well I think that they'll compete against Eastern Washington and Montana. If they win defiantly and like by multi-scores, I can be more confident into the next game. But if this is either a close game, and if they lose, I think that the conversation completely shifts. But if this is a close, like 3-point, 7-point game, might have to start being a bit careful in predicting victories over some of these other programs.
I think you're right. I think if this is a blowout win for either team, I would instill more confidence in that team that won than I would, because I'd say the other team is just shark food or whatever, fish food. What is it? What is shark food? Regardless, they're done. They're done for the rest of the year is what I have to say after this win. If it's a blowout, if it's close, then we're going to see the Big Sky being the Big Sky, and it's going to be everybody vying for the rest of the season. Blowout, we're looking at a completely different conference, and one of these teams is completely booted.
So that's going to be a big game this weekend. The other 2 good games that we have is I have it written down here. I don't want to make sure I don't mess them up because I messed it up earlier when I was talking to you. North Dakota SIU is going to be a high impact game. North Dakota needs redemption, but I really don't think that they're going to hang with SIU. And we also have the South Dakota UNI game, which I think is definitely very underrated. Let's roll through and get on to predicting these games, Sean, to wrap up today's episode. FC estimates last week. Ground has hardly changed. We both go 7 for 10.
Well,
again.
What do you mean hardly?
Okay,
it seems like someone's percentage has still dropped.
And
someone's percentage has still risen.
Your percentage, like I said, if we match every week, nothing is going to change because I have built enough of a gap.
You're only 5 games up, pal. I'm looking at these percentages. I know right now at 7 and 10, yours dropped, mine rose. I'm sitting at 68% correct. You're sitting at 76. Yes. I know.
Mine went down 1%. Yours went up 1%.
Oh, howdly doodly.
Actually, you know what? No, wait. You want to get real for a second?
Get real.
Mine went down 0.5%. Yours went up.
But did it go down? But did it go down?
I rounded that number. That number.
Congratulations. I would prefer if you did and continued to do that.
I'm going to round down going forward.
Why would you round down? You always round up at 5. 5 and up is round up.
No, we don't do real math here. We do made up math.
Look, someone is trending upward over the last 2 weeks, even though they're ties. Someone is trending downwards. I know it's because he had a quote unquote perfect week. Oh, I had a perfect week.
It was a perfect week.
I know that's why he's trending down, but at the same point, somebody's trending up, somebody's trending down, and it's got to give some point. What did you get wrong last week?
I've had
South Dakota State.
3 straight weeks I've had over 70%, which is good accuracy. For 3 straight weeks, you've done the same thing as well, but you started the season really poorly. You had a couple bad weeks.
Chattanooga.
No, the ones you're referencing that you hedged and got right. You got the SIU one right, which was you faded. Sorry.
Yeah, prediction of the year, everybody. That actually got me a text from my dad.
Really?
He said, you got the SIU prediction right. I'm like, oh, I guess Dad's checking up on the scores on me, trying to keep us honest. He said, you both blew the JMU game, though. I'm like, what do you want us to do? What do you want us to do, Pops?
Right.
You always take JMU.
Knowing your response was, wait, I picked SIU? Is your dad the team historian or the show historian? I mean,
he is. I don't know. We've had a lot of people that have listened. I think he wants more Get to the Point. I don't know. My uncle started listening to Get to the Point also. I was getting some text from him. I think my dad likes this show because it's more numbers based and less complete dicking around for 30 minutes.
And we occasionally mention the school that he played for. But they're not very good, so we don't bring them up often.
Tough year for them.
I'll get a text. Well, it's been a tough year for like 20 years for them.
Oh, okay. Hey, Notre Dame's really good, buddy. Keep on making it to the playoffs and blowing it.
At least making it to the playoff. I can hear Chris
and that means a lot.
Out typing
Congratulations.
Out that text.
You guys are really killing it in your new conference. Oh, wait. Oh.
Yeah, we don't
all
need
the realignment. All the realignment.
Sean, let's pick these goddamn games. Montana State at Weber State, the game that we just talked about. Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm ready to get my heart broken. I'm ready to put it out there. I'm fully aware of what I did.
You get the SIU game right, and you're like, you know what? We're gonna throw a freaking Hail Mary right now, and we're gonna try. We're gonna try and do it again.
Joe, there was too much chalk on the list. So I had to pick one. I'm taking Weber State to win.
Yeah, actually, I don't disagree with that. These games were. It was far too much. Why wouldn't I pick the other team? That makes sense. I'm going with Montana State, which bold of you to pick that game to go against me on. But Princeton Brown, who are you picking?
We love EJ Perry here because, well, I don't know if we love him. We respect him.
Perry.
Hi, I'm EJ Perry. Sure.
Oh God!
I'm taking Princeton to beat Brown because Brown is, they're a one-man team.
I almost picked Brown as like an unexpected pick, but I'm gonna go with Princeton as well.
Way to take a shot.
Samford Wofford.
Samford
Wofford.
I'll take Samford.
I'm going with Wofford on this one. Eastern Tennessee State University.
Oh yeah, I gotta mention this.
Go ahead.
Too many directions. We'll just call it ETSU from now. If we're going to have listeners that have to correct us on if it's East or Eastern, you know what we've had to deal with? Hey, Joe, how many times did you have to deal with, oh, good to see you're back in town. How's Rhode Island University? For me, good amount. You know how many times I corrected somebody when they posted RIU? Never.
You know what I don't
care.
You know what I hate the most when you're talking to somebody? Is that a Division I school?
Oh boy!
It was like, oh my God, you did not just ask me that. You see them play in the tournament, in the basketball tournament. You know the goddamn answer. ETSU Chattanooga. Who you picking?
ETSU to win because we like ETSU. We've never said a bad thing about them, but now I'm anti-ETSU, but I got to keep my percentage up.
We're just a little stupid. There's too much information. It's sensory overload sometimes. Idaho, Eastern Washington. Idaho, EWU.
Give me EWU.
EWU. Give me him as well. Give me Barrier and the boys. That would be a cool shirt. Does Eric Barrier have does Eric Barrier have a merch store like every other Division I athlete?
What about you just got Barrier and it's like
my God.
It's like an eagle sitting on a gravestone.
How are we not his marketing guys? We probably just we've got our EWU listeners like Kyler's probably like, I'm going to make a t-shirt for that now because we're far less committed and we don't follow up with what we say.
EB, exemplary ball player. How about that? I mean, we're just coming up.
We're just giving away free shit. Balling like Barrier.
Dude, it just doesn't stop.
It writes itself. All right, you know what? I even though there's no legal hold over you, but if you use any of those, I demand we get 10% of the profit if you make any of those shirts.
Start with 25, then we'll go back down to 10.
Never mind. We want
because then we're going to end up with 3.
We want 60%. We'll negotiate from there. Do the ethical. Not actually.
I got to get in the deal.
Do the nice thing.
Give me with Believe, man. I got to get with the negotiating team if you're up there working deals and stuff like that.
You think I'm working deals? Jesus.
God, I hope not.
Yeah, we'd be screwed if I was working deals. I'm a terrible salesperson. What was the next game?
North Dakota
State, Illinois State.
The Red Boards. Nice, Sean. The Red Birds have been very disappointing this year. North Dakota State by 1 million.
Oh, by 1 million. You're getting tweeted at by Kwame tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I'm going to take.
It'll be the first time in a while. That's all I'm going to say.
The Bison. Well, he tweets at me. He just doesn't.
What?
Yeah, he tweets like every couple of weeks. I've been getting a tweet from him.
I've never gotten his name wrong, and he doesn't tweet at me.
Oh God. I'm going to take the Bison, but I'm not going to say so defiantly that they're going to win by 1 million points. North Dakota, Southern Illinois.
You can make popcorn on the stove with that take there, Joe. I'll take it. I'll take SIU to win. Give me the big old Salukes.
Yeah, give me the Salukes as well. North Carolina A&T, Kennesaw. We had a listener that, oh God, I forgot to pull the email. Somebody wanted us to talk more about Kennesaw. It's probably just Nick Massaroni under a stage name. I'm going to pull the email. What are you picking?
Why did that make me laugh? Oh, he think that in his spare time.
Wait, Nick
Massaroni is creating another account to try to get more Kennesaw pull.
Their name is Jackson because he knows that we won't listen to him. He said, first of all, new listener, and I love your show. Thank you for your commitment to FCS football.
Oh, is that rich?
A few episodes ago, you guys spent a good bit of time discussing JSU and their game against. Oh no, it was Jacksonville State. I'm an idiot. And their game against Kennesaw State. I was hoping to hear more time. It is Kennesaw.
Oh boy,
more time devoted to the Owls after their victory and the great play of Xavier Shepard. Their defense is playing lights out, and their offense is clicking, which allows them to the defense to do the rest. If you haven't watched the game yet, please do it. It's impressive. Thanks, Jackson. Go Owls.
Hey, Jackson, here's something about Kennesaw games. They run the ball 50 times a game. The games last 2.5 hours, and Xavier Shepard always has like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. I appreciate it. I love the style of play. But I got to, I can't spend it's like golf. Right. It's like golf at that point.
Jackson, if you're wondering why we didn't talk about it,
you know what I'll do?
We had too much else to cover.
Here's what me and Joe will do.
Yeah. We talked for 40 minutes on 2 games, by the way, but go ahead.
We'll do a dual screen live stream of the Kennesaw game and the Packers from 1966. And we'll take our best chances to guess which team is which while they're running the toss sweep.
And which game finishes first. Oh, God.
I don't know why Kennesaw's catching heat. They're very nice, and Brendan McCurry's awesome. You know, they nobody from Kennesaw has ever done any bad by us, but it's
We've
there's only
also
so much you can analyze.
right. We've also Kennesaw's good this year, but they're just not up to the level that they were 2 years ago when we first started.
Yeah,
we'll talk about them. But
what
South Dakota State, JMU, Villanova's SIU mess took precedent in this circumstance.
Also, I mean, I don't know. It was very fun when it was like Kennesaw and who was it? Pete Guerrero at Monmouth when they were all dueling at the end of the season. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
No, it was Kennesaw
who else was it?
and Furman and Wofford. I'm pretty sure all were kind of duking it out in those close games.
Yeah, it's fun. Later in the season, we'll start to take more of a look into how the playoffs are going to shape out. I think that's when we start talking about more teams aside from like the biggest teams and more conference shaking games, because right now everybody's still kind of figuring themselves out.
Right.
I'm taking NCA&T to win, by the way.
Okay, bold move. Give me the Owls. Hoot hoot. I'm sure that's what they say.
Hoot hoot.
Hoot hoot.
You know what
I'm
they
sure
say?
That's what they say.
They say hootie hoo.
Hootie hoo. Is that actually what they say?
It's hootie hoo, and it's because they're Owls, and also because they're from Georgia, near Atlanta, not as close as Georgia Tech, but also Outcast. Hootie hoo is a song by theirs, and it was almost also a slogan. So at least,
do you think Hootie and the Blowfish went to Kennesaw? Do you think that's a reference?
Darius Rucker went to South Carolina.
It's basically the same thing. Maybe
you're going to upset a lot of people.
Maybe he originally. Am I going to upset South Carolina fans or
you're
Kennesaw
on a
fans?
Carpet bombing right now of not knowing anything about the South.
Anything about anything.
Hoot hoot.
Joe doesn't know anything about.
All right,
anything.
fellow kids, hands in. That's what you're doing. It's just so.
South Dakota, you and I.
How do you? What are these grits? Suck.
Oh, I'm from Virginia. I'm from the South. You're from the East, the Northeast. You're from the southern part of the Northeast. You've been to the South like twice.
Oh
you
my God.
You claim Atlanta, but you're not even. You've been there once.
I've been there twice. Once on a band trip, once with my dad.
Oh, I was expecting a high number, but you've only been there twice, so that's depressing. South Dakota, you and I.
You want to get into okay, you and I.
All right, here comes where I'm going to fade you. Give me South Dakota. I am calling an unexpected. This is my upset of the week. I am calling the upset. Give me South Dakota.
You're a fool.
Damn it. Why am I a fool?
It's a foolish pick.
You're a foolish pick.
You don't take risks. I know you.
It's a risk.
When you take risks, you pay for them. I'm excited next week. I can't wait to see it. Us all knotted up at like 70%. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a bloodletting on your end.
Goddamn games. We picked
we'll
it. There's like two differences. It's literally not possible for us to to have some.
Someone's trending upward. Someone is trending downward.
The Citadel at Furman.
You know how tired I am. You can't be saying silly things. I'll take Furman.
I took Furman as well. Folks, thanks for bearing with us as we're
30 minutes.
We're running on fumes in a show that we said was only going to last 20.
Oh, my God.
Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
No, that's not how we close out the Thursday episodes.
Subscribe.
We close them out with energy, Joe. Sanderson Radio on Twitter is me. At Joe DeLeone on Twitter is him. At Believe Podcast on Twitter. You see everything they retweet. It's all the shows, all the good stuff they're putting out. Retweet it. So if you're looking for other stuff past our show, you can follow them on social medias. You see what's being put out. All right? That's when we end the shows on Thursday with a lot of energy. You know why? Because we got the weekend of SCS football coming up. And if you can't get excited about it, then what am I going to do?
All right.
I'll just sit here and talk to my wall for an hour each week.
We're praying for you, folks.
I know Joe had a long night also.